Maybe if you took a break from filming fucking OF content for a little bit, your mind wouldn't be in the fucking gutter.
You know, my mind was plagued far before ever making spicy content. I'll tell you that
It's
right
true.
now.
It's almost as
That is true.
sorry.
That is.
I
can attest
I'm
to that.
imagining Smart Hulk. It's like I was made for this.
I consider that an absolute win.
Five rockers fill up beers heading towards the seas. Ride the waves around the world, the pirates like the raise our beers and then we choose the line to come. The Shipwreck Show, AG is number one.
What is happening, everybody? Ernell is a dipshit, and this is another episode of the Shipwreck Show.
You're supposed to wait 30 seconds to cuss.
Dipspit.
Fuck you, YouTube TOS.
Fuck you, YouTube.
Listen, if the basement yard can get away with it, they say dropping fucking dongs left and right in the first 5 seconds. Like, we can get away with it too.
That's fine. That's okay.
And I am your host this evening, Garrick B. Eaton, and as always, I am joined by 4 of the Brethren Corp.
Cooter. The Brethren Core.
4 of the Brethren Cooters. And no, I didn't like that, or no, we're not pro-military around here.
The Brethren Core. Awooga.
I am also joined by the silent one, our very own DJ Sinfix. DJ, how are you doing,
man? I'm doing good. Just chilling.
He gives a thumbs up. Man.
Thumbs up. He's like, yeah, that's it. That's all we get.
That sounds like a tired boy.
That is a tired boy. DJ's always a tired boy.
Yep.
Tired of your shit,
Did you,
Xander.
How was your weekend, though? Did you do anything exciting? I know it's only Monday.
Nothing much, man. Just chilling. I don't think you did anything crazy this weekend.
Do anything for Mother's Day?
Went out. Yeah, hang out with my family just a little bit, but didn't do anything crazy. Went to my friend from Dallas came to town Saturday. We went to hang out, play some games, and ate at Waffle House.
Hell yeah!
You know they have that on the menu now, like the rising egg prices. Like they have a little label on the Waffle House menu.
Oh, they got it.
Like,
they got
eggs are gonna like extra eggs are gonna be like pricier, and I don't know if they have this. I don't know if well, you guys don't have Waffle House out there, but they have not a new item, but it's like new to the specials, like because the menu's not like the menu; it's like the favorites. They have this. They have a chicken melt hash brown bowl, a chicken melt hash brown bowl. My friend ordered it. I wish I ordered it.
Okay. All right.
I heard it's good.
I would absolutely fuck up a Waffle House, dude. I want to eat there so bad. Everything about it just sounds delicious. That sounds like a pretty low key weekend. Not like in like a bad way though. I like weekends like that where it's like low pressure. You don't have a lot going on.
Mm-hmm.
We are also joined by who are we also joined by? We are also joined by the dude whose fucking desk probably looks like a fucking card shop threw up. Devin Stanford Brevin, the dude. How are you?
I'm doing good. It doesn't look like it's thrown up. Everything's actually organized in piles. But I do have a lot of shit to go through. I got this deck I got to sleeve up. I got all of these I have to sort. And then I also have these I have to sort.
Fucking ridiculous. Dude.
Oh, dude. I got this card the other day.
Yeah, right,
dude.
Interestingly enough,
I fucking love it.
I got a copy of the same one.
Oh, dude, is yours a 10-10 too?
Bolus.
Yeah.
I got a secret layer Nico Bolus though, off of a pull. Yeah, it's really good. It's really good.
Layer Nikola Tesla, huh? That's pretty rad. I heard he did some cool shit.
Yeah, it's ultimate. Nico Bolus Planeswalker deals 7 damage to target player or Planeswalker. That player or that Planeswalker's controller discards seven cards and then sacrifices 7 permanents.
Sounds like Nicol Bolas.
Yeah. Knees and bolas, dude. It's an interesting attack.
Knees and bowls.
It's It's really good.
Head, shoulders, knees, and balls.
I told you guys already, but I did another draft this weekend, and I'm undefeated. So
What are you gonna start doing tournaments?
I signed up for Final Fantasy.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
Hell yeah! If you win that, then come back to us.
I mean, I've won the official pre-releases at my LGS.
Yeah, but pre-releases are not the same as somebody spending hundreds of dollars to make their deck fuck your day up in 2 turns.
Yeah, but I mean, it is an official draft where like I open the packs at the store and then I have to build a deck out of
know
that.
you can pilot. I'm trying to see
Yeah.
if you can win a commander tournament, brother. That's what I want to see.
I want to
With your deck,
climb the rank.
you get first
Yeah,
place
I
on
did.
that. We'll let you brag
you
all
don't
you
even
need
have to.
to,
You don't
brother.
even
The
have to
people that
win,
play
man.
those,
If
though,
you podium,
the
you're
people-
good with me.
The people that win those though spend like $3,000 on their decks. I don't do that.
Dude, I have a feeling you're getting awfully close, Devin.
You've spent
Yeah.
near 3,000 this year.
Not on singles.
No, not on singles, but like
you
between your
probably have a
cards
hell
that
of a
you-
collection.
Yeah,
I mean, after Final Fantasy, probably, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
imagine the commander deck you can make if you just bought singles. You know what I'm saying?
I like the art of the pull. I like the art of the chase. You know what I'm saying? I like my physical
they
loot
get ya.
boxes.
That's what they
That's
all
what
say.
they
I
get.
like my physical loot boxes. But no, I'm having a good time with it, man. I'm getting there. For somebody who's only been playing for 7 months, I'm feeling pretty good about it. I feel pretty good.
That's what they
I'm on
all
the right
say.
path.
Yeah.
On the
You
right path.
definitely be playing a lot of Magic. We
I know,
are
play
also
me.
joined by. We've only got 2 left. Two of the court members.
I'm not saying
We are
anything.
also joined by I don't know. We're joined by Ernell, I guess. I'm just We are also joined by the Shrine of the Ocean, our shark father himself, Ernell Pearson. How are you doing, baby?
Hey, Bono, brother. Yeah, man. I was gonna say you can either pick me or you can pick the guy who segregates. You know what I'm saying? That's
Jesus Christ.
You guys at home probably don't need any more context than that. You know what I mean? You don't need more than that. Yeah, it was Mother's Day weekend,
sure.
and I ate a lot of Filipino food yesterday, and just had leftovers today for dinner. And fucking babe, I actually had a pretty productive day today, generally speaking, because I woke up, I had to do the thumbnail for our session 13 episode. I knocked that out in like 5 hours, so I'm getting a little bit more efficient at it. So I'm pretty stoked about that. And then went to the gym, and afterwards had to track down, because here's the deal, right? I have to consume, because the general idea is that if you're lifting, you want to consume 1 gram of protein for every kilogram of weight that you weigh, right? So I weigh about 230 kilos, okay? So I need to consume around 230 grams of protein a day. I try to meet at like 200, okay? You know how hard it is to consume 200 grams of protein in a day, Garrick?
That's a lot. That's like an obscene
Fucking hard
amount,
that is.
actually.
Like it, and it's especially hard to
is
do.
Is it like normal nutritional values, like 40?
Give and take. It depends on the thing. It depends on the thing, right? So it's like typically they say you should consume on like your
Like 40
normal
to
everyday
80.
diet. Yeah, it's somewhere between like 40 to like 75 is like on average. Forcing 200 without like overloading yourself with sodium or
How
like
do you
having
not just feel like a brick after eating that much protein?
finding ways, man, finding ways. So one of the ways,
He just does shit to break.
yeah, exactly. Just actually,
I mean, think about it. He's
I
always
hope you're
fighting
taking fiber
demons, dude.
supplements, brother.
He's always late to our meetings because he's fighting demons every single time.
yeah, dude. No. No, I recently, so I've been drinking, Xander, I was telling you about Seek, that protein drink. It's about 22.
I'll give you some protein to drink.
Hey, nice. It's about 20.
That's probably the grossest thing I've heard on this podcast so far.
Really?
I don't know about that, man. I don't know.
Yeah, arguably.
I think that's
Arguably.
I think
From person to person, yeah.
The Seek drinks are about 22 grams per serving, and I was drinking 2 of those a day. But like two protein drinks of the same flavor in a day can get real tiring after 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and so I was kind of like, I got to figure out a better way to go about this. And I asked one of my coworkers last week, and I was like, hey, I noticed you were drinking like a bottled little shaky shake thing before work the other day. Like, what is that? And he was like, oh yeah, it's the Fairlife Core Power. And I was like, oh yeah, they have like 25 grams, right? And he was like, no, dude, they have 42 now. And I was like, what? Where the fuck is that? So today I trailed down where to find some of the 42 gram ones.
Trailed? You mean tracked?
Trailed.
Same.
Past tense. Yeah. Yeah, it's a word,
Well,
brother.
He took a trail, passed by.
What
the
are
big
you
bad
from the
wolf
fucking
on his way there.
60s?
That's not a word restricted to the 60s, pals. It's because you don't say it. Doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
I've
You know,
never heard a single person go, I trailed this down.
Yeah.
All right. Quick. Has anybody ever heard somebody say that before?
I mean, I haven't, but
I
it
have.
doesn't. I understood exactly what he meant.
I have.
I mean, it's not like we go around normally hearing people say indubitably, but you know what that means. You know what I
I've
mean?
definitely
Like,
heard indubitably a lot more than I trailed this down.
All right. So anyway,
Anyway.
the
So
Fairlife, right?
I hunted up. No, I was kidding. I just wanted to make up another way that I could.
No,
figure
that's
that.
it. No, I hunted like fucking. That makes more sense. I've heard that more than trail. I've never heard somebody go, I
Night
trailed
down
this
this milkshake.
I tracked down this thing and found out that it's only available in Target and Walmart. And I was like, okay, cool. I got to go to fucking Walmart, I guess, because I'm not spending the extra fucking dollar at Target, right? I love Target, but everything there is expensive. Okay, I'm not fucking doing it. So I go to Walmart. I got a fucking. I didn't even grab like a grocery bag or a shopping basket. I just went arms in, right? Just grabbed fucking a whole week's worth of these bitches, right? I was like, fuck, I found it. It's sick. I'm fucking out, right? I ran out of the store, then they chased me. No, I'm just kidding. But I did go to the register to pay, and the first one had a girl who was like having a confrontation with the cashier. So I went to another lane, and the other lane had 3 old ladies that were all checking out clothes, and like a bunch of their clothes was missing the tags. So what should have been a like 5-minute Walmart trip to get protein shakes turned out to be 28 minutes of waiting in
Wait, do you
fucking
guys not
lines.
have like the scan and go things, or did I miss
No,
that?
they
I'm just dumb.
closed them down in our Walmart.
Why?
I don't know. I have
Motherfuckers
no.
probably scanning PS5s as bananas, so they just had to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right. That's what I did too. Yeah, dude. I don't know. They closed that bitch down. They don't do that anymore in our.
Like it's just never open in your Walmart?
They have it shut down for a majority of the day. The only time that I think they have them open is in the morning. Devin, yeah.
Huh.
Imagine being you and always just getting in predicaments where you have to wait in line behind somebody having an issue. It sounds like a very common occurrence for
Dude,
you.
it fucking is, man. I have the worst RNG in life ever. If it can be an inconvenience to me, it will happen. I've kind of just settled with that being my reality. Yeah, Devin again.
I mean, at least that happens to you and you just don't have cars breaking down on you for no reason.
Well, I did.
That's fair. Actually, yeah.
I was carless for a year, man. I just got a new one, so you know that's all right, man. It's nice.
How's your not truck?
We have one more guy that Garrick needs to introduce. Go ahead, Garrick. Go ahead.
I sure do.
Go ahead, man.
We are joined, lastly, but certainly not leastly, by. I don't have a snappy. I was trying to think of something snappy that could go along with his Xander, but I really don't have anything. I just love his face, and his Xander is joining us this evening. Xander, how are you doing?
The segregated.
Hello, I'm doing all right. Apparently, I'm the king of segregation. So that's,
whoa,
cool.
whoa, hey, that's fucked up, dude. No one said that.
No,
said that. We just said you segregated yourself at one point. You know what I'm saying that's what we said.
Oh, okay. Thank you for clarifying that for the masses. Appreciate that. So I didn't
just
have
segregate?
to.
No, DJ. No, DJ. I never just ever segregate. That's not something I ever do.
No, dude.
That's something I hope that nobody here ever
if
do.
Xander wants to
You opened this can of worms, or no?
If Xander wants
to
to
did.
protect
You
his
did, Ernell.
peace by separating himself from other people, that's fine. We support segregation.
One.
Yeah, we support guys.
No, wait,
Immediate
No,
break.
oh, my bad, dude.
No.
Oh,
Moment.
Ernell,
Roll
you're
it back.
You're
Roll
canceled.
it back. All
My
the
bad,
way
yeah.
back.
Young
for
ladies
sure,
and
dude.
gentlemen,
My
Now is a
all the
good
way
time
back.
to learn about vocabulary
holy
and
wow.
a better word.
That is
better
some hot,
word in
that's some
place of
wild
this
hot shit
would be-
to be playing in the year of our Lord 2025 or now. My good God, brother. Holy
I couldn't
much
even
better
finish
word.
it. I couldn't even finish it.
G. Williker.
Because this is the
Williker.
fucking Shipwreck show where once a week, every week, 5 of the Brethren Core gather together to discuss anything, and everything under the
All the
sea
things.
has thrown our way. God damn. If you're riding this wave, and honestly, I wouldn't blame you for jumping ship after that one, you can head on over to our Patreon at patreon.com/Good Kraken Pods, where you can submit questions and topics, get exclusive content, and have early access to all of our other content before it goes live on podcast and video services. You can also support us by heading on over to joining GK Community on our Discord channel by clicking the link down in our description below, then following and subscribing in order to get updates when new episodes go live everywhere.
All the way.
Yeah, I don't even. Yeah, captain's orders. We just have a few because I didn't update them, but we really don't need to. All of our stuff's on YouTube now. We don't do live recorded stuff anymore. It's just like you guys forgot about that for some reason. That's why we haven't been on Twitch, you silly willies. And so we're just doing the normal thing. Patreon's back up. We highly encourage you guys to go there. We have a plethora of options for our subscriptions, so you guys do not have to break the bank to support us. And Brink was a great Disney Channel original movie team
That was.
episodes for
Watched
life.
that not too long ago.
Good one.
But you guys can
remember.
also check out Songs from the Abyss episode 13 that is live today on YouTube on our podcast, on your podcaster, not on ours, you're on your podcast service of choice, wherever you want to listen to it. We're not going to dictate where you can or cannot listen to a podcast. That's completely
We won't
up to
segregate you from other podcasts.
We believe in podcast autonomy.
Xander might.
Okay. After that, I don't want to hear that fucking word for the rest of the fucking night, or I will
Definitely.
legitimately
Yeah.
leave
No, we need to
Discord.
put a pin in that.
I'm dead
I'm not a
serious.
I'm not a fan of
I
that
am
word right
leaving
now.
Discord.
Like, yeah. It's like we need to be done with the segregation thing, like on God. Like we need to be done with that.
All right.
Yeah, we need to be
Fine.
done
Fine.
Sorry.
You guys
We
never
should
let
have
me have
been,
any
it
fun.
should never have come
Push
up.
it to the side. Yeah. Put it in the back.
What about
Anyways.
seclude?
No, Ernell, stop.
No, you're pushing it.
No. Okay.
Inclusion would have been the first option.
That would have been that would have been the safe. But you can't do that now after the other words already been tossed out. All right.
Okay.
Jesus
fair enough.
Christ.
Fair enough. Well played, sirs. Well played.
You guys are insufferable, and I just need you to know that.
I do for the people.
Nothing of what you just said was for the people, or no?
Quite the opposite, really, if you
Okay.
think about it.
Yeah. That's fair. That's fair.
Okay. All right. As long as we have accountability here,
Is this
we're
episode
okay.
titled like the day the ship actually wrecked? Like that's what it's starting to feel like.
You
hope
guys
not.
are the only ones being direct about it. You know what I'm saying? It's fine. It's okay. It's all right. It's all right.
We're the only ones here to be wrecked about it, Ernell.
I'm just here.
Go on, Garrick. Go on. Continue, sir.
Oh, good God, Lord. I do have something for us to discuss this evening. It has nothing to do with any of that. Honestly, it's the only thing that anybody's been fucking talking about for like the last 3 days. And if you've been sleeping under that rock, I'm fucking sorry, but we're talking about it. I'm talking about it because it's all I've been thinking about. It's all I've been listening to. It's all I've been diving into again and again and again and again. And holy fuck, Sleep Token has a new album, folks.
Oh, here we
and
go.
it's called Even in Arcadia.
Get fucked,
And
Devin.
it actually might genuinely be one of the best albums I think I've ever heard. It's a fucking experience. I quite literally went on like a 72-hour binge session where when it released on Thursday evening at 10 p.m. my time, it started playing and it didn't stop. until about 2 a.m. when I finally had to force myself to go to bed. And then I woke up and I played it into the car. And then it's literally playing on my speaker in the background because it pauses through the Spotify, and I don't want it to stop playing. So it's literally playing right now. It's just quiet enough that my microphone's not going to pick it up. So yeah, that's absolutely happening. It's literally been playing all the time. I am in love and quite literally obsessed with even in Arcadia. The fucking so much, holy shit. This album is dripping with symbolism, and it just gives my former religious self like so much to delve into, brother, because if you've been in religion and then left religion, you know that you keep your friends close and your enemies closer. So you learn to really understand religion, to really, so that you can hate with maximum efficiency. And this fucking album has like just so much theology in it that I've been gushing for fucking days. Oh my god. Have you guys listened to it yet?
Nope, haven't even started it.
Well, that's fine. You can sit because you can just sit and fuck with your magic cards because you don't like Sleep Token anyways.
I never said I don't like Sleep Token. Don't put those words in my mouth. I went and saw them live. Fuck you.
He did. He was there. He was there when I went.
Yeah.
He got seats. I didn't get seats, but
I didn't get seats. I just got in for free.
Oh, okay.
Fair enough. Anyways, has anybody listened to it? Come on, don't leave me hanging here. I can't be the only one.
Yes, and
you and I have. I was gonna say let everyone else chime in because you and I have been gushing about it for the last 3 days together. So.
Well, so I know that there's ways that we can bridge this for DJ and Xander, or not Xander.
Oh,
Devin,
absolutely.
Because I know that this isn't DJ's cup of tea, right? He's not going out and listening to Sleep Token.
I think DJ might like this album.
I think
he would enjoy this more than any other album they previously released.
I would start him off with Past Self for sure.
But to kick it off with Sleep Token as being the focus of this conversation first, yes, I did. The next day was able to front to back the album. Mm-hmm. And Garrick was texting me about it, and I purposely waited to respond until I could get the time to listen to the whole thing. And it was after we recorded one of our episodes last week, I believe.
Yeah, I think I can't remember. It was either late Saturday, maybe, or
it might have been Friday.
Yeah, it might have been. Oh yeah, because I texted you about it on Thursday night.
Was
right.
Yeah. So I was like, well, I have a quick minute. DJ is doing the upload and stuff. I could probably hang out for a minute and finally listen to this bad boy. And granted, I was not crazy hot about the first single they came out with, Emergence. It was fine. Like, I thought it was cool, but it just didn't have this like emotional wow factor that I like go to Sleep Token for. Just context for you guys and for folks at home. I found Sleep Token many moons ago and found them mostly because my friends were raving about them, and I was like, okay, sure, like I'll listen once I get a chance, because I have some bands that I do that with where I just like don't listen to for an extended amount of time, and then like one day I decide to do it and I'm like, fuck, I slept on this? What the fuck was I doing, dude? Like two of like Pierce the Veil's albums are like that. I didn't listen to Pierce the Veil for like 6 years after they blew up, and finally I went back and did, and I was like, what the fuck, this is so good, dude. Sleep Token is one of them. And so one night I was like, you know what? Everyone's talking about this band. They deserve me to give them a fair shake, right? And so I turned off the lights in my bedroom, put on my headphones, my like best headphones that I had at the time, and laid down in the dark with my eyes closed and turned on the first song to the Sundowning album. And
Sundowning is amazing.
And front to back that whole album in that 1 hour, I cried 3 times to that album on like individual different songs. And not just because of like the things I was going through at the time, but just like the story of what that album is about and how, we'll say Vessel, I'll say the vocalist for DJ to understand, how he writes his lyrics is some of the most creative, well planned, well thought out lyricism I've ever heard. And especially that album, because like Sundowning is from the perspective of someone who has Alzheimer's. And it's about this person that from their perspective, how they're experiencing dementia and Alzheimer's from over the course of a night in which they are sundowning. And if no one knows what sundowning is, there's people with Alzheimer's and dementia. At night, when the sun goes down, they sort of start to act very erratically, and it's like very unexplained human phenomena that happens. It just so happens to happen with people with memory issues. And yeah, that album fucking kind of weirdly changed my fucking life, dude. And so every album that Sleep Token has come out with since then, I've gone into it with like, I'm trying to have the same experience emotionally with their music as I did with that album ever since then, right? And even backtracking to like after I listened to Sundowning, I went back and listened to The Way That You Were
1 and 2, and
then did 1 and 2 and was like, holy shit, these guys are really good. Jaws, that's a really good one too. Yeah,
Jaws was like one of my favorites for the longest time.
I love Jaws. That's a great song.
In like for the most part, their albums afterwards, I didn't have that same experience with. There were like select songs that I was like, fuck, that's really good. And I do listen to them and I do still appreciate them. This album is my first one that they've come out with that I was like, yeah, I can feel it. I can feel it again. Because like it feels like it's such a personal album for them.
Absolutely.
And like the lyricism is just, oh my God, it's fucking out of this world, dude. Like the line in Damocles, where he says Blue Blossom Days, if only like Damocles would call me back or hit me back.
I've been waking up. I've been waking up Blue Blossom
yeah.
Days. If only Damocles would hit me back.
Yeah, which is like on paper, that's like whatever, right? But Damocles is like the sword of Damocles is a phrase that was used for people that were impending something bad to happen. And like there's
like a sense of doom.
Yeah, and there's like so many layers to his lyricism that are so just like so meta for like no fucking reason, and they like reflect on other songs and like play into like past lyrics he had in like prior albums, and like they all connect and weave together into this like big picture that is Sleep Token's library of music. And it's so cool because like bands don't do that shit anymore. And like
no, dude, it's so everything that like Sleep Token does is like completely deliberate. They're like, they never just write a song and think and release it because it's a good single. Mm-hmm. Like even the singles that we got from even in Arcadia, some of them like we got like the fans basically got to choose which single got released by like voting on like assorting themselves to support a faction within the mythos, and that mythos in like that faction dictated what song we got released. Two of them, it was the House of Viridian and the Feathered Host, and the people voted for House Viridian, so we got the song Emergence. Now I'm sure the Feathered Host probably has like it's probably another song on the album. What we don't necessarily know which one it represents directly yet. But dude, there's just so much like the symbolism and the lyricism from top to bottom. I was actually quite literally just listening to and doing the same thing, like lights off, had my speaker going, like was just listening to top to bottom, starting with Look into Windward, ending with Infinite Baths, and just like fronting to backing that album. And like it's just such a cohesive piece of music, and it's so intelligently written, and it's one of those things where like the more you know about music, the more you're able to appreciate what Sleep Token offers as a talent, because they do crazy fucking shit, like insane shit that like you wouldn't even think about, like with the way that they choose to play their music and their bend their genres. Like I fucking adore Emergence so much, just from the fact that The entire song is written in a syncopated 4/4 time signature, and then the guitars on a regular 4/4 drive that's begging you to fucking believe that the fucking drums are out of time, but they're not. And oh my fucking god, dude, it plugs you into this cerebral part of your brain where like it just begs you to listen deeper into like every little bits in the song and all the like the layers and like noise and like ear candy that they shove into these tracks is ridiculous. Ernell, you had your hand up.
Yeah, well, I was just gonna say to kind of join Devin and DJ into this conversation in a different kind of way. We can let Xander kind of have his moment to spill the beans on how he feels about this. But I think it'd be cool to hear from Devin and DJ. What is an album for you guys that blew your guys' minds like this too? Right? Because it's like obviously like there's a lot of albums
like just
out
a
there,
fucking
but like
experience. Even Take Me Back to Eden. I adored that album and I thought it was very strong and cohesive. But like even in Arcadia has made me fucking feel shit. Like was in tears, actively considering therapy at the end of the fucking album. I'm not even kidding.
That's how everything prior to Take Me Back to Eden was for me. But I'll get to that in a little bit.
Yeah, so I think it'd be a good idea to hear from you guys in that way, so that way, you guys aren't being left out of it. So, do you guys have an album that's like blew your fucking minds like that? Like,
I need to look.
That blew my minds. I mean, it's been a minute. I'll be honest. Like, I've listened to a single or two from the new Sleep Token, and to me, it was just like, oh, it's more Sleep Token. It didn't hit me on like any spiritual level or anything like that, and that's not necessarily saying it's bad or anything like that. Like I'm not saying that at all, but it just didn't hit me in that way, and that's totally fine. I just think everybody has different like music tastes and stuff like that, and I'm gonna be the first one to call it. When everybody is like just gushing over something, I pay less attention until I naturally have my own coming to like age with something.
That's fair.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's fair, but like from the perspective of like being a fan, like we're all gushing because we were all just excited for the album to release.
Fans
on
prior,
release day. Like we were just like I'm sure like there's definitely talk of bandwagoning going on right now, which is ridiculous. We should welcome all new fans into a community, but whatever.
I think the last time, and which I'm not shitting on anybody. I'm not going to gatekeep anything. I think one of the last times that I had a true moment of in awe was let's see here. It was probably when I heard The Dark Pool by Thornhill. Because
you were raving on that album for a hot minute.
That was back in 2019.
Yeah.
And that album, like that was just huge because like the vocalists, granted, I still love them. The newest record I've been jamming lately has been their newest record. That's been like on repeat, like constantly lately. But they've kind of changed more into like a new metal-y grunge alt like prog band. They're like a mashup of a blend of a lot of things right now. But I just remember the first time I heard that album, The Dark Pull there, it was just like, the vocalist was so massive sounding. He just belting and specifically the song Lily and the Moon. That one just hits with me. But see, I like a little bit more progginess, a little bit more heaviness, and more melodicness. I will give it. Vessel has one of the most melodic voices within the scene, but for me, it's I tend to go towards more of the instrumentation, especially the guitar playing, where it's good in Sleep Token, but to me, it's simple, and I know that's why it's so widely appealed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, their guitars have never really been crazy. Like most of their craziness is between the vocalist and the drums.
Yeah.
But the guitars have always been very simplistic. I get that,
and they're not that massive to me, and I think that's a slight drawback for me. It's just like I listen to it, I'm like, oh yeah, I can do that. Yeah, I can do that. I can play that. and I've covered it. I actually have
guitarist problems
right there.
That's such
an 8-string right there.
That's such a fucking guitarist thing to do. Being like, oh yeah, dude, I could play that in my sleep, bro. I'm not listening to that.
No, I'm not saying that. But like when I hear something that's just like so like guitars are so like inventive, when I'm just like, whoa, you know what I mean? Like just blown away by like guitar stuff, like when Periphery does something new, or like North Lane does something new, like just as an examples for bands that like kind of like elevate guitar playing, or look like what Polyphia did. They birthed a whole new generation of type of guitarists. Look what Will Swan did from Dance Gavin Dance. He birthed a whole new generation of different types of guitarists, but yeah, Lily and the Moon is definitely one of the coolest records I've listened to. That and like Mood Ring, with their most recent Your Light Fades Away. That stuff is really good.
Mood Ring
really
fucks.
Really good to me.
They fuck.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, a lot of stuff that really connects with me on that kind of level. God, when Movements came out with their first full length, that one hit me pretty hard. That was also a very relatable spot in my life. So, yeah.
All right. Well,
feel something.
Oh yeah. What about you,
Which
DJ? You ever had like a fucking life-changing album?
I mean, I don't know, man. I have, and like, but like I had life changing for the time, if that makes sense. Because there's songs like, at different points of my, or there's albums at different points of my life where I really enjoyed them, but I don't listen to them like anymore. Not because the songs are like they've aged or anything. It's just I haven't gone back to listen to them in like a hot minute. I think one of the albums that I really enjoyed front to back is Tyler the Creator's Flower Boy. I think that one's
good
album.
record.
That's a good record. That's a really good record.
Dude. Jesus Christ, man.
Mac Miller's album, like right before he died, that one.
Yeah.
J.
I fucked so heavy
Cole's
with the Weeknd's Dawn FM album in 2019.
Yeah. J. Cole's Sinners album and 2014 Forest Hills Drive. That one's good too.
2014 was mine for J. Cole for sure.
Yeah. And then XXX Tentacion's 17 album. That one too.
Okay. Yeah, I know that there's a lot of there's a good handful of people that really heavy fucked with that album.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Real man, because a lot of people like grew up with them in this sense, and
yeah, right, because he was really young.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and like you basically kind of pushed like that underground scene at the time, and that specific sound. But man, there's another one too. I'm forgetting. There's like barely a few albums like I'll listen to the entire thing like front to back.
Ooh.
I mean Kendrick Lamar's like GNX, like his latest album.
Yeah.
That one's a front to backer.
That's a fucking good album, dude.
I'm looking through my Spotify right now.
Doing like the checklist, yeah.
Just to
checking everything.
add on, this band called Sweet Pill, their record Where the Heart Is, I saw them open up for Law Dispute, and they're incredible. And that record is a front to back for me.
You mean Citizen?
Well. Dude, not even the same. Not even remotely close to the same band.
He gets so mad when I do that, Garrick.
Dude, Sweet Pill is a female fronted band too, and the instruments aren't even relatably close.
Paramore. Paramore wannabe.
Paramore.
Imagine being in an Asking Alexandria band. This is crazy, dude.
You're right, man. You're right, dude. That's who we inspired by, man. That's who we're inspired by.
Yeah. That and like what was it? What was it? Oh god, what was that band way back in the day? What was the band that had all the neon guitars and neon colored strings?
I mean, there were a few back in the day, dude. There were a few.
Yeah. What was the one that we always used to make fun of? Oh god, what was it? God damn it. It's like I can see the music video in my head.
We also had a few we made fun of too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I made fun of quite a few.
All right, yeah. Ernell's biggest inspiration is the vocalist from Abandon All Ships.
Let me explain, because it drives me insane. Like, god damn, dude, that fucking guy, that fucking band, dude. Jesus Christ!
Remember when the demo was better than the full release?
Fucking for real, dude. Oh my god,
I can't
man.
fucking believe that band got signed.
I can. I can't believe that their audience let them flop like that, man. I was surprised. But...
Ooh, dude, 4 Year Strong's last record,
guys from New Jersey.
4 Year Strong's last record, Analysis Paralysis, was fucking incredible.
I heard that one.
Yeah, that was a pretty good album too, right?
Actually,
correctly.
How am I forgetting this, dude? This one Ernell can make fun of me, but Bounce and Composure's latest record, their comeback record, With You in Spirit. That record was an incredible emotional ride for me, actually.
Tiny Raindrop, fucking losers.
Yo, that band just played Red Rocks.
They did. Yeah, they did. I can talk all the shit I can because they already made it. You know what I'm saying? I was just gonna say maybe now would be a good time for Xander, but
I know. That's what I was gonna say too.
Oh no, he's back. He's back.
He's back. Xander, it's your turn now. You can since we can circle back around to
do your gushy gush.
I mean,
about sleep.
if you guys think of more albums, just like feel free to chime in. But
yeah, so talking about Sleep Talk, so I guess my first kind of exposure to
we've been talking about this shit so much the last couple of days.
Yeah, I'm trying to like I thought I had like collected my thoughts because like you were talking about like, yo, we gotta talk about this tonight. I'm like, all right, bet, let me collect my thoughts, and then like as soon as we hit record, it was like, what?
It just left your fucking brain.
Yeah,
dude, there's just so much to go over in this album. Like the longer I listen to it, the more I find.
Because I remember right around 2018 was when my buddy, I think he's come around a couple times back in the past, but Arsonist, he goes by.
Yeah.
My buddy Billy. He was the one who turned me on to Sleep Token very early on, and I like listened to them a couple times. I'm like, okay, yeah, but it wasn't like, and it was like when Sundance came out, and I was just like, okay, yeah, I still vibe with them. But then it wasn't until Alkaline. Came out as a single. That's when I really like started like paying attention to them. I was like, okay, I'm seeing, and that's when I like backtracked and I kind of saw I saw the evolution of their sound, because they were, their earlier stuff, it was kind of experimental in a way. It was very, very much more akin to like,
oh my god, the song Nazareth is so fucked up.
Yeah,
dude.
Jesus Christ.
Oh man. Yeah. But like their earlier stuff was very much like experimental metal, kind of like on the fringe. I mean, even now, like
it was like super on the fringe of metal.
And like, but like when I found Jaws, so I was saying like that was my favorite for the longest time. Even throughout This Place Will Become Your Tomb, I still went back to Jaws because there's something about Jaws that was just like clinging to me, and that's one thing that I noticed about them as musicians, was that they have this weird way, like if you're and they're like, it's weird to kind of describe them this way, like they're like the Nicolas Cage of music right now, like you either love them or you hate them, you know what I mean? It's just like,
but you can't deny that they're doing something interesting.
Yeah,
some do.
Exactly.
Some definitely do.
Well, the guitars could be more interesting.
Like, but like it's just one of those things where their sound has always kind of like stuck in the back of my head. And then it wasn't until they started putting out their singles for Take Me Back to Eden where I hit the emotional peak with them, because those singles and that album came out at a time where I was probably at my lowest personally. And that is where like the musicality of it all, they tapped into like some weird wavelength that just struck a chord right at my soul. And I felt every beat. I was like, fuck, dude. Like, and then that's when I just like, I wouldn't even put Take Me Back to Eden or their new singles on repeat. I put their whole discography on repeat, and I was just feeling it like all throughout. And to the point where I think probably by early 2024, maybe mid 2024, that's where I was like completely sleep tokened out. I was like, okay, I need to just take a I'm good. Like I'm getting my mental health kind of better on check. And that's where like with the music on here, even though it feels like a very personal, very emotional record, there's some sort of evolution to their sound where it feels like it matches where I'm at with my mental health, if that makes sense. Like I'm kind of like okay, I'm vibing with you. Like it seems, I don't know, it's a weird dynamic I have with Sleep Token right now. But that's one thing that I've always noticed with their music and their fans in particular, is that most of their fans are either currently going through some crazy shit, have gone through some crazy shit, or just genuinely, and I'm not trying to like bash anyone, because I was one of those people, like genuinely going through some mental health crises. And there's something about their music that kind of, it, for me at least, it gave me like a safe place. It's kind of like Jesus Christ, your emotional well-being is just as distraught as mine, but you're like,
it's a very human element to their music. It gives you
something
something to connect to, right? Like even which is so interesting, I think, about this band, because like if you know quite literally fuck all nothing about Sleep Token, teeny tiny like mythos lesson, if you will. Like Sleep Token is essentially a band created by Vessel, because a deity that existed before God, known as Sleep, came to him in a dream and told him that that Sleep essentially promised him fame and glory in return for devotion and worship. And so every song that they release and that they write is an offering or a token to the deity Sleep, hence the band's name. And so a lot of their albums, there is like, this is a lot of fandom like work going on here, but there's like, people see like their first 3 major LPs as like a trilogy, kind of discussing this like relationship between Vessel and this deity Sleep. And it basically takes the form of the most toxic relationship you've ever experienced in your life. And it's interesting because he paints this really beautiful and honestly fucking super tragic picture about Vessel, who's not necessarily a great guy in and of himself, right? He like there's a lot of mistakes made, and he admits that in these songs, but that he's also trying to like basically manipulate this deity to make himself feel better, and this deity is trying to manipulate him to get devotion and worship to be able to accept him as well, a vessel. And but they still somehow managed to create this beautiful yet and strangely dark like mythos, but making their songs also feel very human and relatable at the same time, because you can listen to this band and never engage in the lore that they have created and still feel deeply connected to the things that he writes.
Yeah, that was me.
Because of the way he writes.
I never had any interest in it, because when I found their website after kind of really digging into them with the Sundowning album, I was like, oh, cool. That's how they're explaining them all like wearing masks and stuff. Dope. cool. That's good enough for me. I won't need to take that for anything more than just that. And and so going into the music, like to me, I think one of the biggest reasons I started liking them was that all of their music from a lyrical standpoint and a lot of their instrumental work is incredibly visceral, and they have a way of writing stuff that feels so vulnerable, and I think that's kind of why I sort of felt an attachment to their earlier music, because like some of it talks about some shit that like a lot of bands don't talk about, in terms of like failed relationships, unrequited love, toxic relationships, feeling lost and undesired in your life. You know, like he covers such a wide spectrum of feelings that in his wordplay and lyrical content that like other bands and other artists and other vocalists and stuff just like don't have anywhere near the know-how or creativity of poetry in the way that he does. And to be able to still, because like there's some bands that like Devin can attest to this, there's some like super hardcore fucking death metal bands that just have the most convoluted lyricism bullshit on the fucking planet, right? Like Cannibal Corpse, for example. Nothing,
where it's just words. None of it makes any fucking sense. It's
just ridiculous, like jumbled up, like mumbo jumbo dictionary bullshit, like deflagration of the, you know what I'm saying? Like just like making up big fucking bullshit
to make it metal.
And it just like, oh, for the sake of like sounding, you know, pseudo intelligent, they do it that way. This speaks to me of like somebody who is so like emotionally intelligent in how they experience their experiences, that they're able to portray that in words. And as kind of like how Devin had made a disconnect because he can't relate to the guitar work in their music because it's simplistic, right? That he doesn't speak to him that way. The lyricism with me as a vocalist does speak to me for the exact same reasons, right? Absolutely. Because I wish I could hold even a fucking piece of sand towards how good of a lyricist he is. It's insane, dude.
Right.
It's so fucking insane. Devin.
I do want to say that I did give props to Vessel when I was saying that.
For sure.
But yeah, no, you're spot on with that kind of stuff. I mean, music is emotive. It's almost an unexplainable emotive thing for all of us, and everybody connects with it differently.
The force of nature at this point.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of albums for, you know, since me, Garrick, and Xander gush about Sleep Token, in terms of albums that blew my mind outside of Sleep Token, because really that's just like the subject matter right now because he just released an album and stuff, but like one of like still to this day one of my favorite albums of all time, arguably my favorite album of all time, is In Love and Death by The Used. And
that's a great record.
Yep, I know that's your favorite album for sure.
That album, for all the same reasons that Xander had, that album hit me in a time where I was not well. I had just recently been essayed, and I was 17 years old and trying to navigate that and didn't really know how to do that correctly as a teenage boy. Especially in the situation that I was in, because at the time, like, I didn't know how to communicate that to my guy friends, right? Because like the dynamic of, you know, a teenage boy experiencing something tragic like that happening, it's boys have a weird dichotomy where it's like we can't, when you're so young, you don't feel like you can go to your homeboys with that because your boys were like, oh, haha, good for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, but like back in the day when we were all like fucking stupid.
To be fair,
and, like,
boys just they just mature emotionally slower.
No, for sure.
They
It's just
do.
at the time that was my reasoning for not like saying anything, and so it was kind of like, oh, like my friends aren't gonna fucking understand this. They're just gonna think that I'm just being a pussy, right? Because that's what like you kind of expect when you're a teenage boy from your friends, and something like that happens to you.
The fuck up, you know?
Yeah. Oh, dude, you're lucky. You got it. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, that's not the way that this works. And then
It didn't feel that way to me.
yeah,
Real men don't cry.
and that album just somehow, some way came out like a week later. And I remember I had listened to All That I've Got when it first came out, because that was like the second single they released for that album. And I was like, oh yeah, this is really great. And I didn't actually listen to their self-titled until after I found In Love and Death. And so I never heard these guys before. And I only passed by them because back then MTV had a time during the day where they would play music videos like during the
Still
day,
actually
like
playing music videos.
Crazy
Yeah,
music on music television.
Music television,
What?
right? Yeah, I know, dude. It's fucking crazy. And that video came on, and I was like, holy shit, this is really, really good. And they advertised their album coming out soon. And so I saved up some money from my bullshit day job at Subway and went and bought that fucking album. And I remember like the roller coaster emotions I experienced for that X amount of time after that album came out. But goddamn, that album helped me a lot in the healing process of that. Because Burt McCracken for the Used, talk about a dude who's seen some shit. That dude has seen some shit, dude.
It's very own.
Yeah, man. DJ, you don't. I know you probably know the Used, like you've heard of them. But their vocalist Burt McCracken lost his wife and child in a car accident.
Oh shit.
And that album is about him coping with the grief of losing his family, and ending up falling into a drug addiction because of it. And so it's like a whole slew of songs that are about him just coping. It's just Cope the album, brother. Like, it's crazy, dude. It's a really good one, man. For anyone like, DJ who hasn't kind of like really fully dived in alternative music, big time suggest checking that one out if you haven't yet. So
yeah, I actually I completely skipped over that one when I was listening to like that music of that time. So now that you say that, I actually definitely want to check that out, because I listened to their 2002 self-titled album, and then I didn't get back into them again until Lies for the Liars. And I listened to like Lies for the Liars and then Shallow Believer. So knowing that now, I actually definitely want to check that out.
And Love and Death will do it to you, brother. I'll tell you what. Yeah,
they have a new
dude, a record that completely blew my mind away, especially in high school, was Circa Survives on Letting Go.
That's a good one. That's actually one that
brother.
I legit have a Circa Survive on Letting Go like blanket tapestry hanging up in my bedroom. That's probably one of my favorite bands. Unfortunately, I don't connect with them the way I used to, because of a lot of the decisions that Anthony Green has made as a vocalist.
Yeah.
I didn't idolize him, but I always had a lot of respect for him. And like, there's a lot of people who idolize Anthony Green and follow every project that he did. But the guitar work, the writing, the instruments, like within Circa Survive as a band, were so emotive that in itself, like every single artist within that band, the drummer, the bass player, the guitar players, any production that they added, and their live shows were always incredible. That was a band that always had me in shock and awe. And also Under Oath, dude. Freaking
classic,
Lost
man.
in the Sound of Separation.
Yeah,
That's,
dude.
to me, that's the record. That is the record from them. like everybody, is like, define the great line,
That was
which is great.
transformative for them. I
Yeah.
feel like that was definitely
it's their
like
best record,
not
dude.
their usual sound. In fact, I mean, a lot of
that was Disambiguation. That was their most out there record. That was their most out there record. Because that was the one they did without Aaron. Yeah, I mean, it's okay. It's good. It's not bad, but like, nothing's gonna top
You
Lost
gotta
in the
listen
Sound
to
of Separation. I went and saw them live on that tour. I saw them like last time they were here, like last October. I went. I still like Under Oath. I went to that show. I've listened to the songs, but like, that's a pinnacle record for me as somebody who loves music, who plays music, who is inspired by music. Lost in the Sound of Separation is like up there as all time.
I just ultimately, like, since Under Oath was brought up, I just want to throw out there, Aaron, please shave your mustache. It doesn't look good.
Dude, he don't give a fuck.
I love you, dude, but like,
he's like Maddie Matheson out here. He's like, I'm the ginger Maddie Matheson.
He's out here with like the pencil stash and the fucking like the biker hat that the lead singer of AC/DC used to fucking rock. Like, I'm like, just get. I'm fine with the biker hat. Just get rid of the fucking pencil stash, dude.
Dude, funnily enough, I don't like that era of music in my life. I was like, because you guys are bringing up like a lot of these, like they're good albums. Like I'll not deny any of them from like the mid 2000s and like 2010s, and like I didn't fucking connect with that shit. Like it was all just cool music to me at the time, but like there was so much of that like it never I never felt like any deep connection to like to the music, which is a fucking shame, because like there was a lot of cool music in that era, but like the more I think about it, I have songs that I've enjoyed like from certain bands, but like for like what I was listening to from like 2006 to like fucking 2014, like I wouldn't say anything stands out as like this was something that fucking like left an everlasting impact on me. But and like honestly, prior to that, it was Meteora. Meteora was an album that absolutely changed my fucking life. But if that was 2003, man, I was fucking 12.
Yeah. I mean, that was a pretty life-changing record too, I think, for all of us.
But like, there's so much A Day to Remember, Memphis Mayfire, Pierce the Veil, all these fucking bands.
Homesick in that era. From like the mid 2000s.
Homesick might be like the closest one where like it made me feel some shit. Like I really enjoyed that album. There was a lot on that album that I really loved. Like that. Well, you might be right. I might have to bend the knee to that one.
We all listened to that
was really
so
incredible.
much.
Yeah. But like, it's a shame with knowing how much music I consumed in that time. There's not a lot that really stood out to me in a special way. I hate that for me.
We spoke on this before, Garrick. Like, I hate that you didn't resonate with this artist in particular, which I feel like I don't know. Maybe if you were to resurface. But City and Color for me was like back during that
Dallas
era,
Green.
Like like the early to mid 2000s. Like, so his Sometimes album in 2005, and then up to Little Hell. Little Hell was the one where I listened to that front to back like over and over and over again. But there's something about him. It was like, and coming out of Alexis on Fire, to go and do this style of music, which for DJ, I don't know if you're familiar with City and Color, but it's more like kind of like folky.
It's very acoustic.
He started off doing a lot. Yeah, he started off very much more acoustic, and then he started incorporating more musicians with him in his later albums, and started doing more like a bluesy kind of vibe and stuff like that. But there's something very raw and emotional about that, and like I remember vividly so many parties where they would either play Hello, I'm in Delaware or Coming Home, and we're all drunk off of our asses and we're in our feelings and we're like arm in arm singing along.
Okay, speaking of it, that's which is funny that like they as a band didn't like connect, that I didn't connect with City and Color, because I'm a deeply sad person. Like Like, I am
why I
a
was so surprised.
profoundly sad individual. Like, I can't fucking stress that enough. I am so fucking sad, guys, all the time. But like, but like, there are certain like bands like that where like it's definitely like it's like, here, if you're sad, this is for you. But like, it didn't grab me. But like, I think it's because I do enjoy the weirder, more fringe shit, which is where like I get like the pickup from like Sleep Token, because like it fuses a lot of things that make me feel something, right? Because like it's profoundly sad, but like I also find like the instrumentals, like it's very stimulating, like, and if that makes sense.
Well,
and
like,
so like
what
I
kind of,
feel
like,
like it
confuses me
activates
about
all
that?
parts of my brain.
Well, what confuses me about that is like the times that you and I have talked about, like, you know, certain songs by Noah Khan, or like even Post Malone's like more like kind of like roots approach to his newer music. Like, I feel like even like sometimes I wish, you know, like I feel like that would have been like something that you would have gravitated towards as a young sad boy with like these kind of like inclinations towards more folky music, you know, like if I was a simple man, like, dude, like I feel like that's like you
and
I
I have songs and genres like that, like exactly like from like like I love I think his name's something Coulter, Will Coulter.
Will Poulter.
Love that guy.
His last name is Coulter. That's the only thing. But like he does folk music, and like Noah Kahan, and like I love that those sorts of like more folksy shit for sure. But like it's definitely, it's more of a song than a genre thing that I tend to enjoy. Devin.
Fair enough.
Another record that blew me away when I finally listened to it, and I was actually a little bit late to this, which is surprising. Like,
music is about
a little
timing.
over a year. But I let it in, and it took everything by Loath. And in 2022, I got to see them play that record from start to finish, and it was an incredible experience. But yeah, that record is just melodic. It's chaos. It's well written. The vocalist is relatable. It's sad. It's, you know, it's all over the place in the best ways.
Yeah.
You know?
I will say, like, yeah, outside of Sleep Token, like, you know, because I've gushed about them a lot. Like, they've way gone up there for me. Like, I'm highly considering getting a tattoo at this fucking point. Like, I'm not even shitting you. But like, I'm way invested into them as a band at this point. But fuck, Dark Sun by Dayseeker. Fucking
that one, yeah.
I'm not crazy about it, dude. I'll be honest with you.
I wept a few times in that album.
Yeah, man. I don't know. It doesn't hit me the same that Sleep Talk does. Because that album is fucking Jesus Christ. That album was goddamn money. But
Sleep Talk was also that's another one that I just found. I found it very moving. But I have, as one might assume, if you've listened to any of our content, some unresolved issues with my father. So Dark Sun made me very...
yeah, for sure.
Made me feel some shit. And so... Go ahead.
You brought up Dayseeker. I wanted to bring up one thing, because so I found Dayseeker from my days of like, it was like in between like MySpace phasing out, and then I was kind of just like finding all my music through YouTube, because like, well, just in a nutshell, what I used to do on MySpace was like I'd take a band that is well known in the genre that I liked, and I'd look at their top 5, click on there, look at their top 5, and like kind of like go down the rabbit hole of bands that followed or like were like within those like, you know, groups or whatever, to try and find new music. And then I came across Dayseeker somehow. I think it might have been through like, might have been like one of Sleeping with Sirens is like videographer for one of their music videos or some shit like that. I don't know, but I found it was an acoustic version of Resurrect that they had put on YouTube, which is from it's a song from their What It Means to Be Defeated album. That's where I was like, oh my god, I gotta pay attention to this band, because at that time they were what's his name, what's the lead singer's name? Rory. Rory was primarily doing hardcore vocals. He actually wasn't doing a whole lot of clean vocals at the time. But then they did this acoustic album. Like, yo, if he were to ever just flip and do more clean vocals, they would just go fucking crazy. And then they immediately started doing more clean vocals. I'm like, oh my god, this is fucking
I think
amazing.
they heard how
But he
people
had such a
responded
good
to
voice.
him when he actually sang, and it made a really big difference for them as a band.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, man.
Man, there's a lot of good music out there. There's so much to enjoy. I think it's interesting, like, that people can enjoy music for very different reasons, and it's not necessarily an emotional one. If it doesn't, I know I personally, like, I seek to be moved with music. Like, as odd as it sounds to say, like, I'm definitely looking for a song that's going to, like, make me cry. And not even necessarily because it's a sad song, but, like, I believe that you can just be profoundly moved by music, and like it's something that can hit you in such a way that, like, it just fucking activates your body, and it gives an emotional response. Like, I literally have like a playlist on Spotify that I use that's like, it's just songs that give me frisson, like goosebumps. And so when, like, I really just want to fucking vibe out, I'll put this playlist on, and it's fucking incredible, man. And like, I like, it's awesome that, like, there's so much music out there to enjoy. And I'm sure we've probably talked about a lot of bands this evening that viewers at home probably have not fucking ever heard of, like, because we like to look at the more underground stuff and some of the less mainstream stuff. I mean, granted, some of these bands have had an incredible surgence, and, like, they're more mainstream acceptable now, but they didn't start there. And like, and we can really recognize, like, where they came from. And
I mean, hell, look at Bring Me the Horizon, dude.
Incredible. Yeah, dude, everybody knows. Bring Me the Horizon is a fucking household name. On God. That's insane to me.
I never in a million years would have guessed that was
they have legit radio play. I heard them on the fucking radio. Like, not even like fucking Sirius XM, the radio.
One of the first metalcore shows I ever went to, it was Misery Signals, The Ghost Inside, and Bring Me the Horizon in a 150 cap room.
Yeah, dude, that's fucking insane, dude. And now they sell out arenas, like, all over the fucking
dude,
world.
I used to play fucking, it was middle school. I had I had my iPod and a little, like, Bluetooth fucking speaker that
dude, my sophomore year, brother.
I was playing freaking I was playing their Count Your Blessings album at, like, this middle school,
Chelsea
like,
Smiles
field day or whatever, and everyone was just, like, staring at me like, what the fuck are you playing, dude? Like,
the band I miss, Garrick. Hands Like Houses.
oh boy, here we go.
Ooh!
Oh shit! He has a new project.
Trevor?
Trevor has a new project. He literally,
Wait, Trevor,
and
Trent.
it's
I think it's Trent, right?
Trenton. It's Trenton. It's literally a fucking he's about to release an EP that's a dead ass. It's a prequel to Ground Dweller.
No fucking way.
Oh, yes.
He fucking, dude, Garrick's fucking texted
I sent that shit to Xander the other day, and I was like, I would recognize that voice anywhere.
Dude, I sat there, I was like, hold on, who the fuck is this? And I'm like, wait, no. And I'm like, it finally clicked in my brain. I'm like, yo, is this Trenton from fucking Hands Like Houses?
Yeah,
dude.
What's his new project? It's called Ladders on Tables.
Yep, found it. Following it right now.
It's like houses, ladders on tables. This fucking band name is called Ladders on Tables. Get the fuck out of here. All right, regardless of how good it is, that is a terrible fucking name.
It's not a great band name.
That is a terrible Ladders on Tables.
It's not his best.
Was he just walking around Home Depot and he's just like, oh, that ladder's on table. I like that.
I'm hoping it's a placeholder. That's what I'm.
Ladders on table. Get the that is one of the worst naming conventions I've ever heard. Like, just fucking
Where's the
call
guy?
your name. Call your band Flaxseed. That sounds better. God damn.
Where's the guy that does the series on TikTok and Instagram where he's just like good band name, bad band name? Like we gotta get him the fucking.
Yeah, for real.
I don't
But
give
yeah, Trenton has a new project. So yeah, I'm really glad that because I fucking also, I mean, which is funny, we miss Hands Like Houses. Hands Like Houses is still technically around. It's not the same. It's not Hands Like Houses.
It's not the same. It's not the same. To me,
It really is not
they're
the
Like
same.
it's not.
It's
It's not the same.
It's not the same in the same vein as like what's that? Real Friends is not the same. If you ever listen to that,
Like there's a
pop-punk
couple
band.
of bands that
Like,
were
listen-
able to change their art, like their vocalists, and I like still acknowledge them as like their operating name. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I wasn't overly upset when Of Mice and Men lost Austin Carlisle because Aaron Pauley is just so much better.
Much better, yeah.
So
Aaron
much
Pauley
better of a
is-
vocalist.
I mean, Austin Carlisle just isn't that great of a human. So
no, he's
Yep.
not a great person.
Yep,
I'll
that's
be
right.
yeah. But like, I mean,
What? He's
granted,
a
like
man
Of
of
Mice and
God,
Men's
though.
like fucking sound changed wildly
'Cause he got
when,
caught.
Like, they brought, because he got caught. When they brought on Aaron, but like I still acknowledge them like as Of Mice and Men, like with their current lineup. Like, you know, sometimes the evolution makes sense, and you're just like, I hear the core like of the band
Yeah.
that's like still there.
Well, I mean,
and
hey,
sometimes it's just like maybe we can let this go. Like
a good
maybe like Dance Gavin Dance, like if Will Swan ever leaves, like the vocalist for that band doesn't matter, but if Will Swan leaves, they're fucked.
okay.
Will Swan is
I
Dance Gavin Dance.
have some strong feelings on Dance Gavin Dance. I think they died as soon as Tillian was brought on. I don't think Tillian brought anything to Dance Gavin Dance
Kurt
personally.
Travis was their best vocalist.
Absolutely.
Debatable. I did enjoy Kurt Travis, but I really do think Johnny Craig was probably the best vocalist
He
for
did
Dance
like
Gavin
one
Dance.
and a half records. He did 1.5 records.
did-
Dude, Johnny
he did
is
like 3,
overrated as
but,
fuck, dude.
No,
He's also
whoa, no.
Yeah,
no,
he's
no,
overrated
no,
as
He's a
fuck.
scumbag.
He's a drug
Okay,
He's a
addict.
really
crazy.
fucking
scumbag.
talented
He
scumbag.
That's
essays.
crazy.
He
Overrated
essays
is
people.
crazy,
He's
dude.
fucking. He is worthless, dude. I'm sick of people idolizing.
So I'm approaching this from a separate the art from the artist kind of standpoint here.
Nope. I hate that too. I
so-
fucking hate that phrase so fucking much. I hate that phrase.
My-
that is so stupid.
My holdup on it is purely on a talent basis, right? He is absolute scorched earth, absolute piece of fucking shit, 100%.
Yep.
But the
He's
one
so
thing he
fucking
has is that he is so talented at
Dude,
what
that
he
guy's
does.
even
He is
circulated
such a
my
fucking
friend
scumbag.
group and caused problems, dude. I hate that guy.
Yeah, no, he's absolutely a piece of shit.
No,
but
he sucks.
overrated, I don't think that's the right word for
Yeah.
it.
He's
Uh,
overrated.
Deserves to get his
overrated.
ass beat. Absolutely, absolutely.
There's way better vocalists than him, and I think Kurt, especially like with all the other projects that Kurt Travis has done after the fact, go listen to Eternity Forever. It's fucking amazing.
Kurt
Fucking
Travis
amazing.
is half as talented as Johnny is, but he
No,
sounds better with Dance Gavin Dance.
His lyric writing is way better than Johnny.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know.
Oh,
about
100%, 100%.
Debatable. But you've effectively made me completely forget my point that I was on. So carry on.
Sorry.
that. My bad, dude. We had to duke it out for a second about a singer's talent. You know what I mean? But if he comes back to you, let us know. Let us know. Actually,
we got 6 minutes left. It
speaking
probably
speaking of Tillian, though, actually, I don't know if you guys heard the news, but Born of Osiris broke up, and
What?
Yeah, they broke up last week, and Lee McKinney, the guitarist for Born of Osiris, announced that he's starting a new band with Tillian.
No. Don't
gross.
do that. Don't do that. They kicked him out for a fucking really good reason. He's fucking chatting with minors, you weirdo. Don't fucking partner up with that guy.
I don't understand it, man. I don't know what the fuck these band guys are doing, dude.
It's
I don't
like
fucking
Bradley
get it, man.
Okay, so that
You know what? Maybe
what is it
DJ,
with-
don't listen to any of these bands we told you tonight, man. Just don't listen to any of them, brother.
Yeah,
What
no,
is it
real,
with a lot of these
That's real.
a lot of these vocalists, because like, and that's what gets me. The one thing that pissed me off and what got me really into like don't even fucking look up to these people, no matter how fucking talented they are, because almost every single one of my vocal influences, aside from Patrick Stump, and that I've heard that that's kind of debatable, is that like every single one of them ended up being a total dirtbag in some way, shape, or form. Because like Johnny Craig, I was super into his vocal style, ended up being a total shithead. Fucking Tyler Carter, totally into his vocals, ended up being a total shitbag. Fucking Bradley Walden, who was the replacement to Johnny Craig for Emarosa, I fucking loved his vocals, ended up being a total shitbag. Like I'm just like, dude, stop being shitbags. Like, fuck, dude.
See,
just on the point of Patrick Stump, I really have a hard time believing you can write a song like "Thanks for the Memories" and be a good person.
That's fair. Thanks for Memories is kind of a scummy song, dude.
That's a sus-ass song.
Yeah, but I think the crazy part about it though is that, like, especially with us having had and being involved in the music scene to some capacity or another, like you very quickly start to understand when you're involved in the music industry that these are just guys. They're just dudes.
Yeah.
And like they're not like some metaphysical like greater being or something like that. Like they are literally just another fucking person. And unfortunately, so many people suck. And even more so, many people who sucked before getting any sort of spotlight on them will doubly suck when they have the opportunity to be able to utilize that popularity as a weapon against people. And it sucks because like it's so many, dude. It's so many guys, and like, and listen, the ones we talked about tonight, just the 4 names that got brought up, that is a speck of sand on the beach. That is all the scumbags.
Dude. We could do an entire fucking episode just ousting all the douches in the industry.
It is
like
just
it would just be a list.
Don't want to waste my breath. Don't even want to waste my breath.
I ain't giving them a whole fucking episode. I'll tell you that. But I will.
I'm just saying, like, it's definitely the list. I'm saying the list is long enough though to take up a full episode. That's how many shitty musicians there are.
And it's funny. Like I told the guys in my band when we went out on our last tour, I was explaining to them one night when we were sleeping in the van that like I am so happy that every single one of us are in like a committed relationship, because the last thing I want is to like find out that one of them are like fucking around or some shit at shows and whatnot, or like pussy hunting. You know what I mean? You know the band guy that pussy hunts at shows, which is the most uncomfortable bullshit on the fucking planet.
I feel like most bands have one.
Most do. Yeah, into the bassist, right? Like,
whoa, dude! Whoa! I take offense to that.
Hey, okay. you're in a committed relationship now. You know what I mean? You don't have to. You don't have to be that guy anymore.
When I was in a band, yes, I was that guy. But
and that's where we can end the episode. I think that's a good place to stop.
This has been the Shipwreck Show, where once a week, every week, 5 of the Brethren Core gather together to discuss anything and everything the 7 Seas have thrown our way. If you've liked what you've heard, you can head on over to our Patreon at patreon.com/goodkrakenpods, where you can get exclusive content, discounts on merchandise, and have early access to all of our content before it goes live on podcast and video services. Don't forget to join the GK community on our Discord channel by clicking the link in our description below. And if you want more, follow and subscribe in order to get updates when new episodes go live everywhere. We have to go, everyone. But until next time, Ernell, don't you fucking say that word.
It's okay, Xander. I was that guy once too.
Segregation's bad.
You bitch!
There you go.